Welcome back. I go by Bree, 42 female, and I really need assistance with the situation I'm in right now with my husband Jerry, 44. I made the worst mistake of my life. I'm losing my first love and the father of my children. We've been married for 20 years, and we've known each other since we were kids. We have 2 sons, one aged 8 and the other aged 15. For the past 25 years, me and my husband have been friends with a group of 8 people. We were very good friends in college. We used to travel together and party, but now that everyone has new responsibilities, we only get together as a big group once every 6 months, because they're either married with kids or work abroad. We meet up with the people who are still in the city once every 2 weeks to a month. We usually go to a cozy pub or one of our apartments to wine and dine. Yet, once in a while, we go to clubs to recollect our days of college. And with amazing luck, one of our companions came into the city for a quick weekend. So we went to a club and got wasted. That night, we all crashed at Sammy, 40 female, and Cam's 45 male place, literally and figuratively. When I crashed on the couch, I felt a hand grab me. It was Kevin, 39 male. Kevin and I had a history of hookups over the years. I would go to him when Jerry and I would break up before we got married. But not when Jerry and I got married. Last time I got near Kevin that way was well over 20 years ago. He grabbed me inside the bathroom discreetly as everybody was asleep, and he immediately pinned me to a wall, saying how he watched me over the past few years wait for the weekend so we can all see each other, but he knew he waited every weekend to see me. I couldn't handle myself and told him to kiss me. We started making out. Then we did more than just that. It was heavy and sloppy and drunken. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I thought. But the worst thing is, I didn't stop there. I met with him multiple times after that night. I went to his house mostly when the kids were at school and Jerry was at work. It was always quick. Then one day I was too tired, so I slept right after. I woke up 10 minutes late to school, so I rushed to the school, but when I went home, Jerry was already there early. He said, "You pack your stuff and you go to your mother's. You now go pack all your stuff and leave." I asked him why he said that. He sensed something was off, so he followed me this morning after I dropped the kids and he saw me get in Kevin's house. And that he knew about the hookups back in the day, but he didn't imagine that I would do this again. I tried to talk to him, but he said that he's not sure if I've done it before over the years. So I packed my stuff, and I'm currently at my mother's house. She came and got me that evening from the house, and we never discussed it. Since then, I haven't heard from him. The kids haven't told me anything. Mom hasn't heard anything about it yet. She's asked me so often, and I told her I wanted a break with her away from the children. I haven't attempted to contact my husband yet, all things considered. I don't have any idea what to do. I can't let him go. I love him. He's my children's father. We were so happy and healthy, and it was stupid of me. Edit. I've ignored everyone's advice to tell my mother. That would frustrate her. Since the party, none of my friends have reached out to me, so I'm sensing that Jerry has told Sammy and Cam. And it has probably gone around the group because Kevin isn't answering my calls either. Over the past weekend, I made 3 attempts to call him, but he has not returned my calls. Having no idea what was going on, my best friend called me today and I broke down and told her everything. She said she would get in touch with him, but I said no. Do I have to let her do it? He's not taking my calls. Update 1. She called him yesterday and he hasn't replied. I told my mom, and she cried in light of the fact that she was terrified she wouldn't see her grandkids once more, and she got dressed and headed to our place. She has not yet contacted me. His mother drove back today with the children. After saying hi to me, she immediately sent them to the backyard. She discussed the incident with me. He told her he wouldn't see me or attempt to see me again. He will occasionally only let the kids stay on weekends, and he will set up a schedule with things like school pickups. However, he wouldn't reach me. He would get in touch with my mother. He was breaking up with me in this way, via my mother, not even to my face. The fridge. I also called Kevin today. He answered my call and I immediately broke down. I told him how he ruined my family and how he took away the love of my life from me. He was so cold, and I remember him saying that I'm much more in the wrong than he is. He told me that what happened in that drunken night could have stopped there, but I didn't stop it. And now I wished I hadn't called him either. I wish I hadn't done this at all. My kids keep asking when I'm coming home, and I don't know what to tell them. Maybe they will grow out of it. They'll get used to 2 homes, right? Right now, the best thing you can do is respect his space and wishes. He's made it clear he wants to communicate through your mother, so give him the time he needs to process all of this. Focus on what's best for your children during this difficult time. As for Kevin, it seems he's not interested in being a supportive figure in the situation. And frankly, he doesn't seem like someone who would bring positivity to your life. Seeking professional guidance like counseling could help you work through your feelings and potentially find a way to co-parent effectively with your husband for the sake of your children. But for now, patience and self-reflection are your best friends. Story 2. Backstory. Sorry I have to. My wife and I met 20 years ago, and I knew right away she was the one. She was dating a friend of mine, but they were not very serious. He told me he was planning on dumping her, so I moved in for the save and told her about his plans. She got angry with me, which I expected, and told me I was lying. Long story short, we married 1 year later. Fast forward to 9 years later, we've now had our second child, and I'm working very long hours trying to make all the bills, 80+ hours a week. Fast forward one more time to yesterday. She called me into the kitchen and tells me that she had an affair 10 years ago and the guilt had been eating her alive. It was with a guy that I met once briefly, a not unlikable guy. She had invited him to a barbecue with some of our other friends in our backyard. My response was almost disbelief. I couldn't speak even when she told me that she would answer any questions I had. I got up and walked outside and have been beating myself up over the anger I feel. She swears she loves me and doesn't want this to end our relationship. I feel duped and like this past 10 years have been a lie. How could she do this much, keep it from me for so long? Why do I feel guilty? How can I go on living with her if I don't know that I can trust her? Please help me clear my mind. I need clarity, which I'm not capable of right now. Update. I plan on talking to her after I've had some sleep. And I thank you all for the perspective. It's 6 a.m. here and I've been up all night. I need to rest. Update 2. I have, after a long 5-hour talk, packed a couple bags and gone to a hotel. The reason I have for this is that she's had 10 years of time to think about this and make her decisions, where I've had 1 day. I respect all the advice I've read and think if I do go forward, it'll be rough. Haven't decided either way. I don't believe the whole "it's been 10 years, just get over it" argument is a good one. 10 minutes or 10 years doesn't change the level of betrayal. We've decided to seek counseling, but I feel like the work that we'll have to put in will almost be worse than the hearing about the act. She told me it was an ongoing relationship for 3 months, and he had come to our house while my children were there, which hurt a lot. She also admitted to an emotional relationship with a woman, swore on a stack of Bibles in our kids' lives that it was not sexual. And I'm not sure if that's worse, but it hurt more as she told me that the relationship with the man was purely physical. Comments. First of all, don't feel guilty because you didn't deserve to be cheated on. I don't care how many hours you worked. Infidelity tore my family apart, so normally I'm the first to say cut and run, but I think your situation might be salvageable. She did something horrible and then she lied to you about it for a long time. But she came clean, so she obviously felt bad about keeping it from you. The affair's a decade in the past, and it sounds like it was a moment of extreme weakness. She could have felt overwhelmed with the 2 kids and you working such long hours and used this other guy as an escape. Again, I don't think it's a good excuse, but people are fallible, and I can see how it happened. Things to think about. How has your relationship been since then? Have you been happy together? Do you think this was her only affair? Can she earn your trust again? Is this something you can forgive? If the answer to those last 2 questions is no, then fair enough. But if you think you have it in you to work through this, then it might be worth a shot. This forum is not the place to come for advice on this situation unless you want to leave her. Cheater equals unforgivable is almost a gut reaction. This is not professional or well-weighed advice. On the other hand, the "it was 10 years ago, just let it go" is logical. And fantastic advice for a Vulcan, but unrealistic to what you are feeling. Go see a counselor together and also by yourself if necessary. If you want to leave her, go ahead. If you want to stay, tell her how badly this hurts you. Tell her you don't want to be vengeful, but trust is difficult once the floor is pulled out from under you. She needs to work. She needs to rebuild trust. The last 10 years weren't a lie, only a small percentage of it was. Sorting it out may take time. Your reactions will take time. If you stay, you run the risk of being angry for too long and alienating her. It's not your fault you run that risk, just the reality of the situation. If she agrees to counseling and works with you, and if you make sense of your situation and want to repair this, you can both do it together. No one here can make the choice for you, but leave her or be ready to do the work are, in my opinion, your best option.